everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Why I Love Flagler County, your local podcast spotlighting local businesses and local residents on what they love about being a part of Flagler County. So today I'm super, super excited to have my guest, Miss Vanessa, with us today. Vanessa, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I this will be a fun episode for me. I just had an episode we just filmed where this amazing person, she owns a pizza shop. And I was like, "Oh my God." And now
Oh.
I get to talk about coffee, so it's just gonna be it's like a hungry morning for me, but these are like my favorite topics ever. So I'm super excited to dive in. Actually, quick funny story is I saw Vanessa on Facebook like a Wednesday morning. I was just kind of stalking around Facebook and I saw her and I saw her business. I was like, "Oh my God, I need to talk to her. Coffee in Palm Coast, like I need to talk to her." And then that night we met at a networking event and she's like, "Oh, I'm Vanessa, I own this." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I was just thinking about how I have to meet you. This is incredible."
Oh, wow.
So the universe really planted this episode, I want to say. So I'll let you dive in. And why don't you tell me a
Okay,
little bit about your journey even coming here to Flagler? How's that been?
sure. So I'm originally from Jacksonville, and then in 2011, I moved to Fort Myers for a job. I was there until 2022, and then moved to Flagler to be with my boyfriend. We had long distance dated since 2007. So that was,
Wow.
yeah, we were together in Jacksonville for a few years, and then I moved to Fort Myers. And then the timing was, 2022 was kind of a good time. My son had graduated from high school and was going to college in Jacksonville. So that kind of moved us back up to Northeast Florida.
Wow, that's awesome that you guys
Yeah.
were able to do. I mean, it's not like the worst distance possible, but it's definitely not convenient. So huge hats off to
Yeah.
you guys. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Thank you.
Best wishes to you guys. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about, I guess, the coffee
Mhm.
truck and all of those great things. I'll let you kind of share the story on how you got
Yeah.
involved with that.
Sure, sure. So the name of the coffee truck is Toe Beans Coffee Truck, and of course, the first question I get is, "What does toe beans mean?" So, toe beans are the little pads on the cat's paws. I've always loved cats, and in fact, I wanted to open a cat cafe. I'd gone to one in Denver, and was just I felt right at home, like with the
Right?
cats, and you just get to sit and have coffee and read a book. Um, and so when I moved to Flagler in 2022, I got in touch with the woman who owns a cat cafe in St. Augustine, and she's even written a book about cat cafes. It was really helpful. So she's like, "Call me anytime." So we had some good conversations. Um, as I dug kind of deeper into that business plan, the one thing that kind of threw me off was the cost and the permitting. I mean, you really have
Sure.
to have you have to completely rebuild a space. You have to have the coffee separate from the cat area. Um, so I took a step back and kind of thought, well, what can I do to still incorporate the cats into the coffee business? And that's how I came up with the idea of Tobine's Coffee Bar. So it's cat themed. The inside of the trailer is cat themed, but then I serve coffee as well. Um,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. I didn't even know that. I love this like a 10,000 times more. I love cats. I'm a huge cat person. Um,
Oh.
cats and I went to a cat cafe up in Michigan where I used to live, me and my
Yeah.
friend. I think I've been twice, two or three times, and it's just like you said, the most fun experience just playing with them and hanging out and having it like a good old-fashioned latte with them and
Yeah.
it's the best thing. So that's so cool. I
Yeah.
haven't I haven't
Yeah.
got a chance to go up to St. Augustine, but my family and I, we have really been wanting to go for a while, so we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
have to make that happen very soon. But that's
Yeah.
awesome. What are some of the things that you love about, I feel like there are so many things there's so many coffee shops, and I think we all have different ideas. So how's the experience of having this coffee truck kind of been for you?
It's been a good experience. I like the fact that I chose my own roaster, and they
Mm.
have their philosophy is kind of similar to mine, where they're very involved in the community. They partner with small women-owned coffee farms to get their
Oh,
beans, so they're kind of cutting out the middleman and
right.
the the coffee. Uh, farmers are getting more of that profit back in their pocket. So that's, that's good for them.
That's so cool.
And also, so the name of the roaster is Buddy Brew. So they're dog themed. So the animal thing kind of
I've been there.
carried over. Okay, yeah, in
I
Tampa, they
went,
have some in
yes,
Tampa,
I
and
went, I was
yes,
in
yes,
Tampa, me and my friend, we went
yeah,
there. Yeah, I have pictures because we thought it was the funniest thing ever.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
the funniest. Okay, this is awesome. Sorry, keep going. I was like, oh my gosh, wait, I
No,
know
no,
this.
no, it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was a beautiful place and the coffee was
yes,
great there.
yes, and they're I love working with Florida-based smaller businesses. I mean, I could call them or email them anytime. They're always right there. They check in and say, "Hey, how's your business going? Is there anything we can
Oh,
do?"
yeah,
They actually gave me some barista training as well, so to get to really work with the coffee that you'll be using
right.
is real helpful.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, I would love
Yeah.
to ask, since we're kind of on the topic of coffee, what's your coffee order? Like, what are some of your different coffee orders you like?
So my favorite, and I have not added this to my menu yet, but is a dirty chai. So like a chai
Okay.
with a shot of espresso in it. That's really good. And then of course lattes. I like, being able to make there's so much you can do with the latte as far as flavors and um,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
that's
Yeah, I
good.
was just drinking. I saw my mug here. My mom made me chai this morning on
Oh
request.
yeah.
She's the best. So chai is amazing. And my favorite is definitely my favorite. I Because this is the most standard everyone has. I always like a nice, good iced vanilla latte.
Mhm.
But I'm sure you know the coffee shop Foxtail.
Yes.
It's a great chain or a franchise, however that is, and they sometimes have rose syrup. So I like to get a vanilla latte with a
Oh,
rose cold foam.
that
That's
sounds
really
delicious.
fun, but not everyone has a rose flavor, so
Right.
I understand that. So I'm always happy with an iced vanilla, but those are all great choices. So
Yeah.
that's so cool. Oh, I didn't know
Um,
that. So what else do you like to do now? I mean, you've been here for about, maybe 2 or so years. What do you guys like to do around town that you'd recommend to anyone who's a little bit newer than us? Maybe places to go, events to go to,
yeah.
groups to join, or also where can people find you as well?
Yes. So if you're new to town and if you're trying to make business connections, the first place I would stop is Good Vibes Nutrition. Mike
Yes,
will introduce you to anyone and everyone. So, it's a great place to just sit and, you can have meetings with people or just, go in to grab a protein shake and talk to Mike. He'll definitely get you some connections. There's also a lot. I'm surprised the size of Flagler County, how many small business groups there are and
oh
different networking
yes.
groups. We've got, I think we met at Professional Women in Flagler
Mhm.
County. There's a couple of BNI groups here in town. There's also some smaller networking groups that maybe, aren't, they're more referral groups, I guess you would
Sure.
say. But there's definitely tons of ways to get plugged in if you're a business owner
Yeah.
or any kind of entrepreneur. Um, and there's also a ton of events. I know that there was the Hang Eight dog surfing this
Yeah.
past weekend.
Yeah.
There's just always things going on. There's Food Truck Tuesdays. There's always events at Town Center
Yeah.
that are great to go to. I know Flagler County Buzz has a list of
Oh,
events on their page,
nice.
and I think the City of Palm Coast will list events on their page as well.
That's perfect. And what are the best ways that people can kind of follow you and learn about where you're going to be or how they can, try some of the amazing stuff you make?
Yeah, so Facebook is probably the best place. Actually, Chris DeWind is redoing my website for me, so that'll
Nice.
be up and running probably next week, and that'll have a calendar of where I'll be at. The next place I'll be is June 21st at Roma Court, so that's the shopping center that's just east of the new hospital on Palm Coast Parkway. So I'll be
Oh,
setting up there at 7 a.m. and then
wow.
Texas Roadhouse has a community night the last Tuesday of every month, so I'll be there. And then they're also starting their own farmers market every Friday morning from 9 to 1, starting the last Friday of this month. So um, be popping up
Wow.
at some places around town. Yeah.
Oh, so I haven't heard about any of those, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
definitely be adding those to my calendar. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure I have all of Vanessa's information in the description so people can click. Make sure you follow her on Facebook. Just check out what some events to see her, but also see a lot of the other amazing places, vendors here in Palm Coast and Flagler, and just all the surrounding areas. I've seen a lot of Volusia people as well, Palatka come there. So you get a whole taste of Northeast Florida over there. So Vanessa, thank you so much for the time today. Like I said, I was super excited. This is my favorite topic ever. If we wanted to get into like really nerdy coffee stuff, we could be here for another like 2 hours, I think. But thank you again for the time. This was a super huge pleasure.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And to everyone listening, I really appreciate you as well. And I will see you next time. Bye.